Welcome back, everybody, to the third part of my Arkham 2019 Villain Wishlist series. Last time I detailed the villains that I wanted to see introduced into the Arkham series, who have been teased the most, those who haven't been teased the most that I want to see show up, and this time around is going to be the characters I want to see return and how I feel they should be incorporated in this hypothetical Arkham title. Without further ado, let us begin with my first choice. Have fun, people. Alright, up first is a villain who's all but guaranteed to show up, and that is, of course, the Riddler. Now, the Riddler trophies can be insane. I'll admit it right now. Arkham City and Arkham Knight, they were a gigantic pain in the ass, and something's got to change with them. Most people are sick of collecting them, and after the true ending bullshit, I think it just drove it up to a whole nother level. So my proposal for this is twofold. One, don't have collectibles and side missions tied to the real ending of your game. Secondly, and this is the big one for me on how to make the Riddler trophies interesting again, have every single one of them unlock something, be it concept art, challenge maps, character trophies, whatever. So long as there's some reward for actually going around and picking these things up other than arbitrary achievements or trophies. Okay, unintentional pun there, but you get my point. I think that's the best way to handle the Riddler trophies themselves. As for the Riddler himself, I feel that going back to the death traps from Arkham City is probably your best bet, as the races in Arkham Knight did nothing. They were tedious, they were irritating, they relied too much on the Batmobile for my tastes, so I feel going back to basics with the Riddler would be best. Anywho, moving on to the next character who's all but going to show up is, of course, the Joker. Look, I love the Joker. Mark Hamill and Troy Baker knocked it out of the park in this series, but as I'm sure a lot of us are, I'm burned out on the man. He's been the main villain in every single Arkham game, and it's time for a break. So, my proposal for him is real simple. Either cut him out entirely, or have him stuck in Arkham throughout the entire game. Sure, you can visit and talk to him, and he'll make fun of you and all that good Joker shit. But he has to stay away from the main story. Side mission? Maybe. And that is a hard maybe. But other than that, no. Anything else, and I'm going to be really irritated if they decide to make him the main villain again, especially with the teases seemingly pointed towards the Court of Owls, if this Arkham game is legit. But I'm rambling. Anywho, now that I've gotten those two out of the way, I'm going to talk about the characters I actually want to see show up and how I feel you could do them again. Out of all the returning Batman characters, Scarecrow is the top of my list of ones I think WB Montreal could have a lot of fun utilizing. If I had it my way, they would adapt his first storyline from the animated series where he's getting revenge on Gotham University for kicking him out for his unlawful experiments, to say the least. I feel the storyline would work perfectly for a younger Batman, though not as young as Origins, obviously, depending on where this takes place in the timeline. I think fighting in the Gotham University Bank Vault could be fun if they want to recreate that. The blimp fight could be good. Though personally, I think what you could really do to make the sequence stand out is my idea for the boss fight. Instead of fighting Scarecrow directly, I would like to fight zombified versions of Bruce's parents. Now, bear with me for a second. I want them to be at least 10-foot monstrosities that are just verbally tearing him down as they try to murder him. At first, Bruce is just evading because he doesn't want to hurt his parents. Because he's just racked with guilt about potentially being a failure. But eventually he just rises up and does the classic "I'm Batman" moment. He breaks through the illusion, ending the boss fight. Then he tracks down Scarecrow to his main hideout, where you stalk him in the shadows before giving him a taste of his own medicine, allowing us to get that classic I'm Batman" moment before we knock him out and send him to the GCPD. But yeah, I think Gotham University could be a fun playground to go around with, especially if they have the sports arena where they've had other Scarecrow episodes. I believe it was Fear of Victory, that was it, where he was rigging professional sports games to cash in big time. So that could be a fun area if they want to combine those stories somehow. But yeah, nothing much more to say on Scarecrow. He's one of my favorite Batman villains, and I would like to see him give his fair shake after his underutilization in Arkham Knight. Let's see. Up next would be... Part of me is tempted to say Bane, but I'm going to save that for another video on what I would do to end off WB Montreal's Arkham trilogy if the next game is actually based on the Court of Owls. So hold on to that thought for a future video. Let's see. Two-Face potentially could work, though only if we actually see his origins worked out, either adapting the Long Halloween rendition or the animated series. Either would work very well for a side mission. Though, if I'm being honest, I would rather have a DLC expansion, kind of like Cold Heart featuring that. So when I do that video, I'm going to go more into detail there. Let's see. I don't want Harley to show back up unless she's teaming up with Poison Ivy to recreate that classic duo. I think that would be a good way to give both of those characters some new life, since they barely had any interaction in the Arkham series thus far, and it would be nice actually seeing that friendship blossom, pardon the pun, in a side mission. Let's see, I don't want Penguin to show up. Zaz has had his due. Killer Croc's story is done. Mr. Freeze's story is done. I would love to see Firefly come back, but thanks to Rocksteady's writing in Arkham Knight, that pretty much eliminates that possibility. So, thanks guys. One of my favorite Batman villains, and he's only limited to 2 games now to preserve the timeline. That's just great. Let's see. Anybody else before I end off this segment? No, I think that's actually going to cover it. So, thank you very much for joining me this time around. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like, subscribe if I somehow impress you enough with my rambling. So yeah, keep in touch, as I hopefully be releasing a few videos in the upcoming weeks, though it'll slow down soon as I'm about to start my new semester, so I might not have as much time to work on videos. I'll try to still get some out. Alright, Austin signing out. Have a nice day.